Hey guys, welcome back to another Common Sense gun review. I want to start off by apologizing for the channel being so dead lately. Unfortunately, work has been kind of busy and it's taken up a lot of my free time to do great videos for you, but I'm going to try and get caught up here, give you some interesting stuff to look at. We're going to do something a little off the norm, something I've not done before. This is not actually going to be a specific gun review this time. I know you're looking at a weapon here, you're probably drooling to find out what it is. I am going to do a review on this one very soon, but this is here as an example for what we're going to talk about today, and that's truck guns or trunk guns, depending on what kind of vehicle you drive. The practicality and the common sense of having a secondary weapon in your vehicle. More often than not, what a lot of people consider a truck gun or a trunk gun is something like this, a compact pistol caliber weapon that can have standard size magazines. This one came with a 10-round magazine. This is actually a 15-round Beretta magazine, which is what this particular weapon uses, 9mm. You can get 30-round stick magazines for it. You can carry a lot of firepower with a weapon like this, a compact pistol type carbine with an arm brace on it. You can spend the extra money for a short barrel rifle if you want to pay the extra $200 for the tax stamp on that. But I wouldn't recommend putting that in your vehicle, which we'll get into here in a little bit. You can also go with the practicality of a shotgun, a good pump action shotgun. You can get really inexpensive. My local gun shop has sometimes they've got specials on pump 12 gauges for 129 bucks. I mean, they're out there. They're not the highest quality, but for something you're going to leave in your car, hopefully secured and locked up, you don't want to put a whole bunch of money into it. So now we're going to talk about the common sense of it, which I alluded to. Why wouldn't you want to put something expensive in your vehicle, like a KSG or a CZ Scorpion or a full AR, something that is tried and true and you can depend on it? Well, your car is sitting unattended for part of the day. If you're like me and you take your vehicle to work, you can't leave that weapon in your office or your place of business, so it's got to stay in your car. What if someone breaks into your car, steals your car? You're not only out the vehicle, you're out the weapon that is in the back of that vehicle. Again, hopefully it is locked up and secured. I would not recommend doing this unless you have a good way to secure it. But let's be real here. If they take your vehicle, they've got it. They've got time to work on your secure system and get to your weapon. So that's a weapon that's out of your hands that you're responsible for. That's a whole nother video. But if you do that with a very expensive weapon, you've just lost, $800, $1,000 in firearm that you may never see again. So go with the inexpensive route, a pump action 12, pistol caliber carbine that is not that expensive. A lot of people just go with a second-hand gun. They'll lock that in their vehicle to carry around all the time, which, depending on your state laws, you can do that. You can keep a weapon. I know in my state, it's perfectly legal for me to carry anything I want in my vehicle. Public domain, eminent domain, that's not even the right word either. Castle doctrine. So many laws going in my head. Castle doctrine extends to your vehicle. So if you're in your vehicle and your vehicle is locked and secure, you can have any weapon you want in there. But let's talk real life. Why would you need this? If you have a concealed carry handgun permit, you're carrying your weapon, why do you need this? Well, a lot of people theorize that the whole point of having a secondary weapon in your vehicle is for if you get involved in a gunfight, things are really going south, you need extra firepower. Your handgun is just to get you to your rock and roll weapon, your primary piece here. That's all good and fine if you're in the military or if you are in combat, a law enforcement situation, but we're talking common sense general citizens here. And I don't expect to ever need this, and if I do need it, to be able to get to it. We're talking real life scenario here, guys. You're out there in the world, some idiot gets road rage with you, pulls his car in front of you, starts banging on your car, busting your windows, or if he pulls a weapon of his own. Your handgun's right there on you, I hope. That's going to be your go-to weapon. So this being in the trunk or under a seat, it doesn't make any sense. A guy or a woman, let's not be sexist, somebody with road rage is one person. If you can't deal with that situation and defend your life with your sidearm, you just need to hang it up. So this is not really practical for that. The real world application for something like this, in my opinion, if you are unable to have your sidearm with you for one reason or another, maybe you're wearing clothing that you can't conceal carry, and that again is another video about proper ways of carrying any type of attire. But for some reason you can't, having this in your vehicle as a go-to, that makes sense. That's common sense to have a weapon of some type in your vehicle. If for some reason you are in an area where you can't carry your weapon inside a place, say you're going to the post office or another federal installation, you cannot carry your weapon into that place, and you don't want to fool with having to take your sidearm off, lock it up, knowing that this weapon is in your vehicle as a fairly convenient backup, you have that peace of mind. That's really the only real practical application for a trunk gun or truck gun. So again, that goes back to the first point of don't spend a lot of money on these things. Get something that's dependable, something that's accurate, take it to the range and practice with it. But don't depend on this as a war weapon. The average civilian is never going to be involved in that type of scenario. And if you're planning for that, you need to take a serious step back on your perspective of what it means to responsibly own and carry a firearm. I do not encourage the mentality of preparing for war every time you leave the house. There's being prepared for a real-life danger situation, and then there's taking it to comic book levels. I just don't recommend it. So, are these common sense things to keep around? In certain situations, absolutely. But my perspective would be, rather than investing $300 or $400 or $500 in a truck or trunk gun, if you are on limited budget as I am, and you don't have the good fortune of being able to trade and finagle and come up with the things you want just through some good old-fashioned horse trading, I would recommend, rather than a truck or trunk weapon, I recommend getting some body armor. I have body armor in my vehicle at all times. This comes in and out. This is a situational, sometimes in my vehicle type thing. Body armor stays in my car. Now, again, you get into the practicality. Well, same situation. If you're in a shootout, you're not going to have time to reach back and get your body armor. No. But body armor is something that is much more practical if you are involved in, God forbid, a mass shooting event, a active shooter type situation, perhaps at your work. I never advocate going back into a building once you are out and you are safe. But we all know, reality being what it is, if there's a gunman in there with a weapon, police, you don't hear the sirens coming, you may be compelled to act. You are much more useful with body armor and your sidearm than you are with no body armor, your sidearm, and something of this nature. If you don't have the practical training that allows you to operate in a combat situation, I don't recommend ever going back in the building, but if you feel like you absolutely have to, you're better equipped with body armor. Body armor I got is from AR500. It's a company you can look up online, and no, they don't endorse me. I'm not giving them free advertising. I'm just telling you some facts. The AR500 company has some great deals on body armor. I got a package for less than $300. Got level 3 steel plate body armor. I got that when I got some backpack armor for my nieces and nephews. It was just a great package bargain. So I would urge you more on a common sense point of view. If you're not given the disposable income to do a truck or trunk gun and body armor, if you have to pick between the two, get yourself some body armor. If you can do both, great. Consider something like this, but be practical with it. Be real. Do not go into the mindset that you're John Rambo or RoboCop and you're going to go out there and fight battles. That is not the intent of a truck or trunk weapon. It is a backup. It is a convenience piece. I would say that you are more likely to use your concealed carry sidearm than you ever would be to even touch this in a self-defense situation. And the likelihood of you ever having to use your concealed carry sidearm is nearly zero in a real-world scenario. People who are responsible with concealed carry weapons, they just don't get into those situations. They steer clear of them whenever possible. So I highly encourage you to take a practical, common sense approach to truck or trunk guns. Think it through, look at every angle of it, decide if you really need to spend the money on that. And if you determine you do, which I'm not saying you can't, I did, obviously, just be smart about it. And that's all I have to say on the topic, guys. I do look forward to your comments. Keep them clean and respectful. I look forward to your input, your differences of opinion if they exist. I'm really, this is a topic that I've been asked about many times, and I'm really eager to hear other people's opinions. I could be way off base on this. I've said many times, I just approach this from the average common sense point of view. I am by far not an expert in everything gun. So school me. If you have a difference of opinion, please share it. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to have some more videos coming up for you real soon. Until then, guys, have a great day. Thanks.